So before this video starts, I have a few things to say, but other than that, this video is amazing, loads of value on how Austin was able to get, I believe 5 properties at the age of 24, which by the way, now he has 11 properties, or I think 14 or something insane. Austin, I know you're watching this, man, we've got to film a part 2. If you guys want to see that, make sure you leave a like right now. But yeah, pretty much, I need to say something, right? So obviously this video is months old, and I do apologize for that, but we're kind of doing something different. As you guys will be able to tell, this video is not actually me interviewing Austin, it's actually my 2 mortgage agents, Anything Financial, that's Nolan and Khalil. So one thing we're going to be doing with this channel is, since I'm uploading 2 videos a week every single week, just to kind of help me, kind of breathe and, do other things, they're going to be providing some content for this channel too. So if you guys like that idea, let me know in the comments. We're going to be mixing it up, lots of content to come. We may even be doing 3 videos a week if you guys are liking the content. So let me know, leave a like, and make sure you check out Austin, check out Anything Financial, and check myself out on Instagram, because that's where a lot of the behind the scenes stuff is, and you guys need to check it out.
Alright, so today we're here with Austin. He is a real estate investor and is currently 24 years old and has 5 properties currently, and it's soon to be 6.
Soon to be.
So basically he is doing exactly what we plan on getting into in the future. So it'd be good to hear from him and what he has to tell us. So Noel, do you have any questions?
Yeah, so Austin, my first question is kind of, what's your favorite location to invest in and why?
Favorite location to invest in? Well, I'm investing in Windsor right now.
Okay.
I'll tell you honestly how I started off.
Go for it.
So I started at 23 and I didn't have that much money to begin with, right?
So roughly a year ago?
Just about a year. Actually,
Okay.
It's just been 1 year.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just 1 year ago
Yeah.
he began investing within Windsor?
Exactly.
5 properties.
Actually, 1 year ago since I began real estate. So I didn't know
Oh.
the MLS. I didn't know what a buying agent was, a listing it, like absolutely nothing.
Wow, okay, you're hearing this first. So. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's crazy.
So I didn't have a lot of money to work with, right? And at that time, Windsor was one of the cheapest markets I could break into.
Okay.
And I still had to borrow money from my girlfriend. I had to borrow money from my parents. And I basically pulled that together and bought my first property. It was a single family home because I couldn't afford anything else. Made a lot of mistakes on it, but lesson well learned. And there were so many times I felt like I was going to give up.
Oh,
right?
I bet.
Yeah,
I
like,
bet.
it was super stressful, especially since I didn't know the right people at that time.
Yeah.
I was working with the wrong agents. It was just a disaster, right? Luckily, I fought through it. Went out networking, hustling, met a bunch of different people, and then got my other property and got, I think it was like 500 or 600% ROI on it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so I turned that around like in 3 or 4 months, so that was
Okay.
crazy. And from there, it just snowballed after that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And it definitely sounds like beginning you had that support system. And did you find like having that support system definitely helped to motivate you a bit more?
It definitely did, because when I began real estate investing, I kept it kind of to myself.
Yeah. Okay.
If I was to tell people, they'd look at me like what the fuck is this guy doing? He's a bit
Yeah.
crazy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
For
risky.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They're just like,
For
people
sure.
love to talk shit.
Yep.
And some people will support you, but you'll find people will also want you to fall flat on your
Mhm.
face. So there'll always be a mix of those 2
Yeah.
people. I kept that to myself, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll do this by myself. I don't want to let people know what I'm doing because it'll be negative energy that rubs off of me. But when I went to real estate networking events, it's like these people want the best for me. They're looking out for my best interests. They're willing to help me out. They're able to answer some of my dumbest questions. 'Cause-
Agreed, and even when you host your own networking events, Anything Financial, of course, attends,
Yeah,
and we honestly love them, and I agree, we find that same vibe and environment,
Mhm.
right? You can't ask a wrong question, almost, right?
Exactly, right? Like,
Because exactly, your network is your net worth.
100%, 100%. And I mean, you guys would know it best, right? You'll work with people who are like first-time home buyers, know nothing about getting a mortgage, and they'll
Mhm.
ask you questions that are very rudimentary,
Yep.
but you're always open to answer
No
them.
matter
Yes.
what.
And,
right?
and that's like every investor, right?
Exactly.
I ask them stupid questions, but they give me like they know it's a stupid question, but they're always willing to help me, right?
Hey,
Exactly.
that's part of the job. Right?
Exactly.
That's part of the job.
And
That's
so
awesome.
when I surrounded myself with these people, it really brought me from like 0 to 100. It elevated my game, and it made me much more motivated and confident in myself.
Okay.
And that's when I started recording my journey on real estate on my Instagram page. And sorry to backtrack, I totally forgot to answer your first question, like why Windsor?
Yeah.
So at the beginning, that was why, because it was the cheapest market for me to break into.
Okay.
But then I started researching a bit more about the market fundamentals, and it just made a lot of sense for me. The rent prices you're getting at Windsor relative to the home price, that like the purchase price there, it's absolutely insane, right? And not only that, is that it's an up and coming city, so it's been depressed for so long, like in the 2008 recession, but just recently it started turning around. And I think like the market's been appreciating double digits for the last 3 years.
So it definitely sounds like throughout the past year you found a perfect system to work with
exactly
down within Windsor, right?
Yeah, so I fell in love with
unreal.
it. Yeah, and like all my properties are there now.
So I had a question. So like, what made you have that like mental switch, and what motivated you to actually like get into real estate, like just to like jump into it?
Yeah, especially you being so young and
Exactly.
definitely just making that jump right into real estate.
Like,
It almost sounds like you just literally had a thought one day. You're like, this is it. It's happening, right?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, when people say take action, but don't do what I did. I took action too quickly, right? Some people never take action, but for me, it was just like take action so quickly that I made so many missteps. You're gonna make missteps, so don't let that scare you.
That's inevitable, right? It's bound to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
It's gonna happen, but I made every single misstep you can make, right?
Learning experiences.
Exactly. So what I did was I went on YouTube, found a couple of YouTube channels like the Matt McKeevers, the Matt Pichets, Mike Roseharts, like all of those big Canadian YouTubers.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they're doing this, like I can do this too. Piece of cake, right?
Yeah.
Didn't know anything else. Jumped into it in a month, like within 1 month of just like doing some research. And then it was the guys I was saying earlier, it was a shit show, right?
Yeah.
So I think the best approach is to definitely do what I was doing in the sense that you need to watch YouTube videos, right?
Mhm.
But before you even consider investing, go to networking events.
Yeah.
I didn't go to a single one.
Okay,
Get
wow.
as
And
much
yeah,
knowledge.
I definitely agree because you go into the networking events and everything, it just shows a different perspective
100%.
from people already in that field.
Yeah.
And then it also just allows everything to settle better, in my opinion at least, right?
Especially-
But hey, look, it definitely paid off for you. You made your mistakes, but look at where you are a year now later, right? So
Exactly.
that's a pretty unreal story to
And
be
then,
honest.
as well as take that time to invest in yourself and gain the knowledge on whatever topic or whatever you want to get into, so you don't just like jump into it unknowledgeable and then end up failing instantly.
Yeah.
You have like that like background knowledge that can help you throughout the process, basically.
I mean, they put it perfectly, right? Invest in yourself, build that knowledge up, go out networking. Networking is key. So I wouldn't even consider buying my first property if you haven't been to at least 5 networking events, right?
Yep.
If you haven't been to 5 networking events, there's no way you have the connections that you'd be able to manage
exactly.
the property
Exactly.
or you wouldn't have the resources or investors to help you carry through that process of investing. So go networking, read books, podcasts, talk to people like you guys, like to get a better sense of the different aspects of real estate. So you guys do mortgages. I know Radies is an agent. Contractors, go find your contractor, talk to them. Like just connect with everyone. Right? Kind of build that circle.
It's definitely for the long term. It's definitely about just reaching out, building those connections, and making sure they fit with your personality too, and everything's
Absolutely.
just a solid connection, right? So.
And as well as even if you're like an introverted person, you're not that outgoing, even just go out and just like get an understanding of the people that are in the industry that like you may be able to reach out to at some point. Like even if you don't go up to them right away and start like making friends with them, just get an understanding of who's around you and who's like you can reach out to eventually, basically.
Absolutely.
Lastly, Austin, so I know you're located basically within Toronto, the Toronto area, but you have all your properties within Windsor.
Mhm.
So my main big question with this is how do you manage them?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
For real.
So I'm working full time right now, a full time job, 9 to 5, downtown Toronto.
Okay.
I live at Scarborough and I have a bunch of properties in Windsor. So in terms of managing, like I hate to go back to it, but it's so true. It's your networks, right?
Yeah.
So I basically a question I like to say is like, can you cook a better hamburger than McDonald's? Please tell me yes. Yes, I can. Okay. Most people can.
For the
right?
most part, yeah.
I 100%.
Yeah. The thing is like, why aren't you richer than McDonald's? Why aren't you building a more successful business than McDonald's if your product's better, right? So your product doesn't necessarily have to be the absolute best in the market. You need the right systems around you. So McDonald's has their marketing, they have their employees, they have their training, they have their ingredient suppliers, they have the exact recipes so that their business operates functionally, right? Like they're systemized.
Smooth,
Exactly.
perfectly optimized everything, right?
And that's what I do with my real estate business. I treat it as a business. I systemize. So I have my contractors, my agents, my inspectors, the mortgage brokers. You have investors and friends that you can rely on. You have basically that entire type of real estate
Circle,
power
right?
team around you to help you operate while you're far away.
Yeah.
So I bought properties where I never even stepped foot in it. Actually, all the properties I bought except for one, I haven't stepped foot in it
Wow,
prior.
see, and that is taking action right there.
Yeah, that's taking action, and that's just like having your shit together.
Yeah, that's definitely having, again, the systems in place.
Mhm.
Right?
So to clarify on that, like still people will ask like, how do you do that? For me, like I get the agent to get a video walkthrough, right? So your
Okay,
agent
okay.
should go there if you're investing long distance, take a video of the property and be like, hey, like look at all this, whatever. And then after that, if I like it, I will get an inspector and a contractor to go for a walkthrough next, right? So I
Okay.
tell my agent like, hey, I'm very interested in putting an offer in this property. I want to make sure I put the offer with no inspections, because in Windsor, that's the only way you remain competitive.
Okay.
But I still want an inspection done. So we
Yep.
go for another walkthrough before we put the offer, and I get the inspector and contractor to go in.
Yep.
Then they call me up and say, hey, this is what needs to be done, right? And then I get the contractors like, this is the type of cost that you should expect. And I run my numbers on that. And then I say, okay, you know what? I'm confident in it. Let's put an offer in. You get 3 people to walk in the property before I put the offer down, right?
Wow.
And once I get those people, I get the video walkthrough and all that, put the offer down, and then I typically don't see the property until closing.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's kind of the way I go about it.
Yeah.
In terms of contractor, you got to meet the right contractor, and then you got to have like investors there to have your back, right?
Yeah.
'Cause-
Yeah, and it definitely sounds, and honestly, investing within the whole picture definitely comes down to this, but just having trust in the right people and just having the full team
for sure.
aspect behind you, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you definitely have it set up. I mean, I'm sure when you bought your first property, you didn't have these systems
No.
in place, but again, it takes time and
Yeah.
patience, and look where you are now, right?
Yeah.
You know what you're doing, you know Windsor very well, and it
Yes.
just sounds like everything's going good,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
yeah.
I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, so I guess to wrap things up, Austin, where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram at AustinYe6, AustinYe86.
And
Sure
if you ever
guys
want-
will be below.
if you
Yeah,
ever want
we'll tag in the
If
next
you ever
one,
want to
don't
come
worry.
out to one of his networking events, they're the last Thursday of every month.
Yeah, typically the last Thursday every
Okay.
month.
Yeah, so just reach out to any 3 of us, and we'll definitely get that going for you.
Yeah, exactly.
With an invite.
Yep.
Awesome.